So welcome back to part 4 of the Discovery series into day 9. So we're almost at the end of the Discovery series, but today I'd just like to revisit an idea that we looked at slightly earlier on. In fact, we've looked at it throughout the Discovery series. But again, it's going to be something that's really important as we move forward, and it's something that's quite easy to forget. So no matter whether you're noting or whether you're using a more reflective exercise or even a visualization that we'll sort of move on to further on, it's really important that you're thinking objectively, that you're noting or labeling or reflecting, not in terms of me, myself and I, but more, as I say, more objectively than that. So when you experience a sensation, you're simply noting that sensation, whether it's pleasant or unpleasant or neutral. When you're noting a physical posture, you're simply noting whether you're walking, whether you're sitting, standing or lying. When you note a mental state, there's simply awareness of whether it's worry, happiness, anger, excitement, restlessness. So there's no identification with it. And this is so important. It is at the heart of every single technique we do. The more you're able to do that, the more you're able to step back and not identify so strongly with whatever it is that's happening in the mind and body, the easier you'll find the meditation and the greater the sense of ease and calm you'll have in the mind, the greater sense of clarity you'll have in the mind as well. So something just to watch out for today as you're doing your practice, just noticing whether you're thinking of it in terms of, oh, I keep doing that, or oh, I shouldn't do that, or this feels like this to me. If you can, make it a little bit more objective, a little bit more concise, because that will just help create that little bit more headspace in the mind. But for now, just take a moment or two just to get comfortable, setting yourself up in a position which is alert yet relaxed, eyes open, aware of the space around you as you take in some deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And with the next out breath, just gently closing the eyes as you become more aware of those physical sensations, in particular the feeling of the weight of the body and the contact of those different touch points. Aware of any sounds, noticing your reaction to those sounds. And noticing how in being aware of that reaction, it sort of loosens the grip a little bit and allows you to be more unbiased in your awareness. As you bring the attention back to the body, just noticing how the body feels right now. It's in a very general way. Noticing your reaction to that. Again, in being aware of the reaction, you'll notice that it brings about a more unbiased awareness. And then when you're ready, starting at the top of the head, just gently scanning down through the body. Noticing or becoming aware of the different physical sensations, what's pleasant, what's unpleasant, and noticing how you react to those different sensations. And in being aware of that, noticing how it allows you to be more aware, more present with the feeling, no matter what it is. As you become more aware of those physical sensations, at the same time starting to become more aware of the emotional quality of mind. Noticing the most obvious feeling or mood that's present at the moment. Noticing your response to that mood. And at the same time noticing how, in being aware of how you react or respond to that feeling, that emotion, it tends to soften the mind a little bit, allowing you to be more present with it. But as always, let's just take a moment or two just to be clear in your own mind about what it is you're looking to learn or understand from the meditation today. Clear in your own mind of the positive impact that this exercise can have on those around you. A sense of meditating as much for them as for yourself. And at the same time of knowing that you don't need to invest a huge amount of effort of trying into this exercise. It's about stepping back, allowing the mind, the body to unwind, to come to a natural place of rest, whatever that is on any given day. So As you shift your attention now onto the rising and falling sensation of the breath, just take a moment to listen to the breath, not thinking about it in terms of my breath or I breathe in a certain way, watching the body, listening to the body. The breaths might be very shallow, very short, very long, very deep. Each breath might be similar or each one very different. Take the time to listen in a very objective way. And as you continue in that way, counting the breaths if you find it helpful, just remember that as you note the tendency to want to hold on to a feeling or a pattern of thought or a sensation, or the tendency to resist, to get rid of or change a sensation, a feeling or a thought, just be aware that as you note it in that way, it tends to soften the mind a little bit. You don't need to try to soften it, it's just about noticing what naturally happens when there's awareness present and when you're able to note with a sense of perspective and space around you. So just continue in that way now. And now just letting the mind be completely free, just for 20 seconds or so. And then just bringing the attention back to the body, back to the physical points of contact and the weight of the body. Engaging the other senses as well, so becoming aware of sounds, of smells, perhaps any lingering tastes in the mouth. As you slowly open the eyes, not jumping up, but just taking a moment to be still, to recognize the difference in feeling between before and after the exercise. Aware of the extra sense of clarity that you might have now, having done the exercise, and just the intention to carry that forward with you throughout the day today. And then when you've done that, you can just sit back in the chair. As I say, we're almost at the end of the Discovery series. But as we move forward, there are going to be, although it's a different technique that we're going to move on to, there are a number of elements that will remain the same. As I said at the start of today's meditation, one of those is not identifying too strongly with the experience. And it's not just our own internal experience that this is important. It's also in our external experience. So if we're constantly walking around thinking, I don't like that, or I like this, I don't like them, I do like them, it sort of reinforces that sense of identification. So it reinforces a sense of struggle in the mind to pursue those things that we really like and to get away from those things that we don't like. Now, that's not saying that you shouldn't have any preferences. It's human. It's only natural to have preferences, to prefer the company of some to others, and to prefer some environment, situations more than others. But the more we're able to step back and not identify in that way, the greater the sense of ease there is in the mind and in our life. We're more able to allow things to come and go. It's much easier to accept things when they do arise, even if it might not be what we choose. So this allows us to have a much greater sense of freedom in life and a much greater sense of peace in the mind. So it really is something well worth sort of working towards. But I'll be back here tomorrow to see you for day 10 of part 4 of the Discovery series.